everyone, this is Melissa, and I'm the talkative introvert. Happy October, everyone. It's officially spooky season, my absolute favorite season, and my favorite holiday. For this month, I really wanted to do Halloween-themed episodes. This is the first, and hopefully I'll get a second one out since I went to every other week. I'm only doing like 2 episodes a month. Anyways, I wanted to come in here to not only greet you Happy October, but also add a tiny disclaimer. There's at some point in our conversation, we talk about periods and some creepy stuff. So if you're not into that, maybe skip this one. It's honestly not that bad, but I know some people can be a little more sensitive than others about certain subjects. So just wanted to give you a little bit of a warning. But I think it's a great episode. So hopefully you'll enjoy it as well.
You want to know something crazy?
Yes.
I've been trying to clean this doll, right?
Uh-oh.
Did you see the picture of her with like all the crap all over her face? I don't know I don't remember if I sent the beauty ones only or like the one that's like the close up of her being like there's one of like she has this like white crap on her face that I called frosting and told Greg it was cake. But it looks like it's actually like damage to her mouth. And so I can't get it off. Like I thought it was like a substance that's like on her. But I think it's like...
Is she porcelain or plastic?
She's vinyl, but she's like 50s vinyl.
Oh. Mm-mm. Maybe like, somebody was trying to feed their baby doll.
Yeah, but it's not... Like, I should be able to get it off if it was, like, a substance on her. But what happens is I clean it off, and then it dries, and it's back. So I think...
Weird.
It's like... Do they have, like, a veneer on them? I don't think they do. I think it's just the paint, right? There's not, like...
I have no idea. I don't really know that much about dolls.
Yeah, I don't think it's like sealed or anything.
Yeah.
I think it's just like some kind of damage to the plastic.
Melissa, are you there?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
I spaced out for a second.
I'm just rambling because I'm half cleaning this doll so that my hands have something to do that's not tapping on my keyboard.
No worries. No, I don't know. I'm really, wow, my brain is not working today. I did wake up early. Yeah, no, I just woke up early because I'm trying to get back into my routine because I usually wake up early. Mm-hmm. And it's because I was out of town for a few days.
Uh-huh.
So I was trying to like get back into routine, but man, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I'm just like tired and I started working out again because I skipped it for when I was out of town. And so like my body is just dying because it's tired and it's sore and it doesn't want to go back to normal life right now. It wants to stay in vacation mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
So if I like space out every once in a while, just bring me back to earth.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Dude, there's scratches all over her back.
Oh.
That's creepy.
This doll is haunted as fuck, y'all. It's probably like the fastenings on her dress.
I would hope so.
But
it's just like random scratches.
Fine. She's getting a bath. She's very happy. It's all good.
That's good.
It's like up and down scratches and then like horizontal scratches. And so I think it looks like a dress thing, like something that is fixed in place, moving back and forth.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably the snaps on the dress.
Yeah.
I just turned her over. She was just scratched the fuck up, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I can't do dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really had an attachment to them. Like even as a kid, like I didn't play with baby dolls or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was mostly stuffies.
Yeah, I had a ton of stuffed animals. Like, there was a little secret room behind my closet, and it was full of stuffed animals.
I had baby nets.
Baby nuts?
Nets.
Nets. Oh.
Baby nets. It's
what are you talking about?
It's just like a net that has elastic on the side that you nail up on your wall and then fill with.
Yeah. Those little triangle things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
So imagine like a fishing net.
Yeah.
Brightly colored, like pink or blue or red or something. And then it's got little loops it's triangle shaped, and it's got loops in the corner, and you screw it into a corner of your room, and it makes a little hammock that you then fill with dolls and stuffed animals.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
They're very cool.
Better. Yeah.
I did not have that growing up.
I have 4 of them now that I have to hang that my mom just bought me. They're rainbow colored because technology has advanced since the 90s.
Imagine that.
Did you guys do any research on superstitions?
Not like in depth, but
no, I kind of went down a rabbit hole on TikTok, but it was mostly like people talking about superstitions and not
like why.
Yeah, but I googled.
TikTok's hard too because people just talk out of their ass.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, did you make this up or did you actually research it or what? But I did research the black cat one because
kitties.
I love cats.
Kitties. Oh, this was somebody's like
wax poetic about it.
Yeah, there's like I found pink crayon that's probably like 50 years old on this
the doll.
Yeah. That's fun.
I was sorry, brain fart. So I was looking up superstitions.
Uh-huh.
And some of them I'm like, are they just superstitions my family made up, or is it an actual Filipino superstition? I'm like, this is not what we do.
Yeah.
But we can go through them.
I have some Scottish ones, and then I kind of found one that's like found a thing about Samhain and a thing. This website is not helpful. Never mind. Fuck that website. It hadn't loaded before. This one on Samhain is loaded though, and is a whole article. But
nice.
Yeah, it's so hard though because like a lot of practice when you're pagan is considered superstitions by like outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then also when you're trying to Google like Wiccan and pagan superstitions, there's a lot of people who just talk out of their ass and they're like, this is fact. And I'm like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's just the internet, you know?
Yeah. Filipinos are very superstitious, and I don't know if it's because of their like religious background, but I know well, Filipinos are most of them are Catholic because of like the Spanish reign. But before the Spanish reign, like they did believe in multiple gods, and there's different like tribes and villages and whatever, and they had like, you know, rice gods and rain gods. I wonder if it's just a mixture of all that stuff together.
It usually is.
Yeah.
Like the only way that Christianity as a conquering colonial concept can survive is if it makes the concessions to let the locals have their things. I mean, that's why we have Christmas trees and birthday candles and shit like that.
Yeah, like superstition is like defined as being rooted in regional and historical circumstances or religious beliefs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So it's just like, oh, someone did this once and a good thing happened, or, you know, oh, someone did this once and a bad thing happened.
Like the pigeons.
The pigeons.
There was a study where they took pigeons and they put them in a little like test box that had like a bar. And at first the bar worked every time. They would push the bar and then a little treat would come out. And then the bar only worked like 20% of the time. And so they would hit the bar, and like it would only work like every 5 or 7 times. And so the pigeon would hit the bar and the food would come out and it would be like, fuck yeah, food. And then it would hit the bar like 5 times and nothing would happen. So it would like spin around and then hit the bar and then food would come out. And so then every time it hit the bar, it would spin around. And then it would just develop this whole series of pigeon superstitions. And like some of them would like bob their head a certain number of times and then hit the bar. It was a whole thing.
Wow.
That's bizarre.
Cool.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah, so I wanted to do this episode because it's October, and well, now I'm only doing every other month, so there's really only 2 episodes this month. So, whatever. But I wanted October to be like, you know, spooky month or like Halloween thing, because Halloween's like my favorite holiday.
Me too.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. Even though I'm
as
not
far
really
as, you know, traditional holidays go, I really like Halloween.
Yeah. Like I love the other holidays, but they're just very anxiety inducing and tiring and exhausting, and you know, there's always a chance of drama. But Halloween, usually not.
Halloween's usually really popular because like that with the drama, like it's not tied to family.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's a completely separate entity of.
And you get to dress up and eat candy and you don't have play with pumpkins.
Dinner expectations and
yeah,
exactly. Like there's like 0 expectations to do anything. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Even nothing. Just sit on the couch.
Yeah, turn the lights off and pretend like nobody's home.
Yeah, don't decorate your porch. Turn all the lights off and just sit on your couch and drink beer.
There you go. Exactly. So how do you guys want to do this?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a weird thought process on superstitions, since so much of it is just like what magic is. So
okay.
So like
maybe
trying
we could do Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, just trying to separate practice from superstitions.
Yeah, so
it's weird since I'm not like superstitions aren't really a theme.
Yeah. So maybe we could do like generic superstitions and you could let us know like if that's rooted in anything.
Yeah, that was a thought I had. Like you guys just say stuff and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's cuz this and this." Cuz I also just like know
local
a lot
expert.
Of shit.
Yeah, there you go. I like that idea cuz we like Filipinos have a lot, man, and it's like sometimes I'm just like, dude, let me live my life. There's so many.
I was also going to be an anthropologist, so I know a lot about like polytheist societies and patients. I don't know the Philippines specifically, but
well, it's probably similar because we are very, very Catholic. So I feel like there's some...
the Spanish influence is going to be really, really thick.
Yeah, so I have a feeling like it's probably similar to, you know, like Spanish, like Hispanic cultures, and you know, basically wherever the Spaniards decided to conquer the world. Yeah. So I'd be interested to hear like what you thought of like the different ones that we have.
Sure.
Okay. So
that's what would be easiest for me. It's just reacting to yours, because trying to delineate like like historical practice from what like a Christian person would call a superstition. I don't have enough worldview that matches that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
I have my worldview. I don't know theirs all the way.
Oh, okay.
If that makes I know a lot about Christianity, but I don't know a lot about
what's considered a superstition.
Yeah, like naming something as a superstition versus... I'm explaining this badly.
No, I get what you're saying. Like
what's versus like religious practice type.
Right.
Yeah.
Like crossing yourself or something like that.
Yeah. And like I could be like broken mirror, walk under a ladder, black cat, but that's like That's a very terminal line of thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I got my 7 and I'm out of ideas.
All right. Well, I'm good with that.
Okay. That sounds good. Well, recently, my niece came to visit, and when I say niece, she's like older than me, so not like a little girl.
Yeah.
I have to like explain that to people because then I'll talk about my nieces and nephews, and they're like, "Aren't they a little young for that?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, they're very much adults,
Adult humans."
Yeah, some married, some have kids, so pretty much adults. But she came to visit recently, and we were talking about my dad and her dad. So her dad is my brother, and they both died like exactly a year from each other. And my brother died before the pandemic, and so we haven't seen each other since then. So literally the last time I saw like all my family was my brother's funeral. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were just like reminiscing, talking about stuff like my brother, and just talking about like all like the different stories and whatever. And then I was like, oh, those superstitions are really interesting, like the funeral ones.
Yeah.
Because any like all the funerals like Filipino funerals I've been to, I was just like really, really young, so I didn't like know anything about it and didn't hear about it. I just like whatever. But now that I'm older, like my family is telling me like, don't do this, make sure you're like, don't do that, like don't forget to do this, and blah blah blah. And I was like, what? Since when did we start doing this? But I guess I never really thought about it as a kid. I'm just like,
because
that's
your parents are just like, do this thing.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're like, I will do the thing.
Sure, whatever you say, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. When does food happen? I'll be here when the food happens.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm 7.
Pretty much. But so like the first things I know, like everyone wears black, right, for mourning. Like everyone wears black to a funeral. But the one color you're not supposed to wear, and I never really understood this, but you're not supposed to wear red during a funeral. And so, yeah. And so I never really understood that. I never asked. I just knew, okay, don't wear red. I mean, I don't really have anything red anyways, but I just no, don't ever wear red to like any funeral. Yeah.
And what was the logic behind that? Any
so
at all?
I Googled it. So this one website says red drives away the spirits of the deceased, not what you'd want to do when you're paying respects. The bright colors for happier occasions.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then there's like some traditions where they're like, well, blood is red and we already know they're dead and we're trying not to like. Some of them, they would be like, this could be offensive because they're dead. They don't got blood no more. And some of them could be like, well, this is upsetting because they're dead and blood is.
Maybe they died
scary.
in a tragic way and it was bloody or something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, birth and death are some pretty superstitious times.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really know any birth ones except for like the men get cigars. I don't understand that.
Well, that's just like
that's more like a tradition, right?
Like a celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like, we did it. We made a kid. I didn't do any work, but I'm the king. Here, I'll look up birth superstitions. I know that like in Scotland, there was a woman who was one of the midwives whose job it was to make sure that every superstition was adhered to.
I know for Philippines, like if you drop a fork, it's a guy, and if you drop a spoon, it's a girl.
Yeah, there's the thing where you hide a spoon under one chair and a fork under the other chair, and you just sort of gesture, please sit, and whichever one they sit in, it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah. And like the way, I forgot, but something about like the way your stomach looks, you can tell if it's a boy or girl.
Oh, if it's like
it's
high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't know if that's true.
No, it's not.
Everybody
Babies
carries
move all the time.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah.
The entirety of your internal organs have been moved. So
your abdomen has been torn apart and your organs have been pushed aside to make room for this creature that likes to spin around in circles all the time.
Little parasite for 9 months.
It's precious little parasite bean.
Yes. So I don't really know about the birth ones.
Let's see. Scottish superstitions associated with birth and babies. The Howdy, Howdie, is the lady whose job it was to make sure that everything was attended to for superstitions. So any knots in the mother's clothing had to be undone. You had to unlock all the doors and windows in the house to make the baby's passage into the world easier. You had to turn over every mirror so that all the baby's souls won't be captured. You had to give the mother an herbal mixture of rowan berries from a rowan tree. They're sacred and they provide protection against the evil eye and the fairies. And then after the birth, there's they would put a protective substance on the baby's mouth to ward off the evil eye. It's usually whiskey, but sometimes they use butter or salt. Every woman present at the birth has to take 3 spoonfuls of a mixture of oatmeal and water to bring the baby strength and good luck. I read that they would give that to the baby, like after the colostrum. Oatmeal? Yeah, it would be really watered down oatmeal and water. To just
so make just like whey.
Yeah. Just like this bare paste. And then they would bury the afterbirth and plant a tree. And then the tree would reflect the child's life. And so if it was leafy and it grew straight and tall, it would be healthy and strong. And if it was leafless, then the child was infertile. And if the tree was sickly, then the child would be sickly.
My parents actually did that for both of us, both of their children.
Yeah.
And there's a Mia tree somewhere?
Yeah. It's not the placenta thing, but they did plant a tree when we were born in the front yard of our first house. And because I'm still local, I drive past there and, I see those trees sometimes and they're, like really nice trees.
That's sweet.
Aww.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, that's my age type thing. I don't know.
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah. I always heard, cause my mother was a midwife. So, I know so much about birth. So, but one of the ones that you would either eat the placenta, because there's a lot of iron and it's really good for you to get better after the birth.
And that kind of had a resurgence lately, I feel like.
Yeah. And, my mother says it tastes like liver.
Yeah, I would imagine so because your liver processes all the blood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I also heard that you bury it under a rose bush, probably because rose bushes are like a lot shorter timeline for getting gorgeous for a tree.
Yeah.
And when my little brother was born, the placenta was in the fridge for a couple of weeks until we could find a spot to put it.
Yeah.
It was just in a freezer bag wrapped up in paper towels. And then they do a thing now that's really unsafe where, or they did in the early 2000s. I don't know if they do it anymore, where they would keep the placenta on the cord.
Yeah, I've
safe
seen that
because it leaves this channel for this infection to come down into the baby.
Yeah, that just seems like common sense, though.
Yeah, but people are like, it's the healthiest. It gives them the maximum amount of nutrients. It's like that's not.
Like they've had 9 months of nutrients.
Well, you could wait until it stops pulsating. You want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to a live birth before.
No, I haven't.
They're super neat. But I
mean, besides my cat that had babies.
that's a little different. It's not super different, but it's a little different.
Yeah, it's different enough.
Yeah. The cord is all like, it's kind of like a telephone cord. So it's super, super, super thick. And it's got this very, very bright blue vein going down it. Mm-hmm. And then over the course of like half an hour to an hour, the blood, because it's no longer connected to the mother and the uterus, it's not getting its own blood supply anymore. But it is one way, and so all the blood goes into the baby, and then it like deflates, and that's the point at which you cut it.
Okay.
And it's really rubbery.
But if you like wait too long, that can become like septic, can't it?
Like days.
Okay.
Not like, yeah. People like leave it on until the umbilical cord falls off, which is like weeks. That's not good. So you want to trim it.
I wouldn't want anything like that connected to my baby, you know. Like,
they would put them in like little knitted pouches, and like,
oh god,
that's not safe. But
no,
that was part of like it was before Goop, but it was some real Goop shit, you know.
It is, yeah.
Oh, Goop.
Yeah, no, don't do that. There's plenty of perfectly cool things to do with your placenta. And they have, even if you're not going to eat it, like it's so good for plants. Like there's so many nutrients just in it. And so put that shit in your garden,
it grew a baby.
Yeah, like it sustained this creature that was aggressively growing for months and months. Like the growth rate of a fetus is incredible.
Yeah.
And this thing was in charge of making sure it got all those things. So
don't people make like powders out of them?
Yeah, they put them in little pills too.
Yeah.
Like little vegetable capsules.
The little gelatin.
Yeah.
So that you're not like eating it. They like dehydrate it and grind it up.
Yeah.
And then you still get the iron and the vitamins and shit.
Yeah, I think I'd rather do that. I don't know if I can eat the placenta.
Yeah.
On its own.
I can't eat like red meat in general. And so I think that just not even the cannibalism part and like the ew liver part. I just think that I couldn't do it just because my stomach doesn't eat that sort of thing anyway.
Yeah. It's just like feeding chicken. Or I don't know.
People do that. Chickens.
Yeah.
I know. I saw
my chickens eat eggs.
Yeah, and I was
chickens
like,
eat chickens
what
all the
are
time.
you doing?
They're psycho dinosaurs.
They are dinosaurs. We had a mice infestation one time, and we found where they were, and they just went nuts for the mice. Like chased them everywhere and ate them whole.
Yeah, they'll skeletonize them and draw and quarter them and do all kinds of crazy shit to them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like a whole mice massacre.
Yeah, no, chickens are monsters.
Yeah.
They're just 2 feet tall.
Yep.
Jesus.
So back to the placenta thing. There's also sorry.
I love that sentence.
I'm pretty sure when like in the early 1900s, washing your hands wasn't like considered a thing you do. Like even
that was the plague that made that happen.
Okay.
Because the water was infected. And they also kept all of their wells like within ground leaching distance of their cesspools. And so they're shitting in this hole and their well is like 80 feet the other direction. So their water was not safe.
I was talking more about like when they started doing surgery.
Yeah.
Because the first surgeon that would like maintain sterility before and after surgery was like made fun of, and they were just like, oh, that's a superstition. And then it's like, oh, that's actually a really good thing to do.
Yeah. Thank goodness we don't live in that time.
Yeah, modern medicine has kept me alive.
Sanitation.
If we didn't have modern medicine, I would have died so young.
Yeah.
Yeah, for reals. I was an incubator baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Were you early or just needed help?
I don't know why that was funny. Both. No, I don't know.
If it's because you needed help, I still need an incubator.
Yeah. Where's my adult incubator? No, my mom wasn't supposed to have me. She had a hard time with her first two. because I think the first one died like months after it was born. And then she had complications with my brother, almost died. And so the doctor like urged her not to have another baby. But then here I am.
Yeah.
And then she like, tied her tubes after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. She was just, maybe her body wasn't fond of children. I don't know.
Sometimes it just don't work out.
I guess you could say
pregnancy's fucking hard. And like,
I'm sure
people don't talk about it, but pregnancy is a nightmare. And and like pregnant women aren't allowed to talk about it. And some women just, their bodies just aren't compatible with it, and it just doesn't work out. And it sucks. It's terrible.
I wonder if I'm infertile, because a lot of people in my family, like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, some people are just popping out babies left and right, but some people just can't. So I'm kind of curious if I am.
Just remember that you want to try for at least a year to 18 months before you give up. It's hard and it sucks. But a lot of people are like, it's been 3 months. And that's like, that's nothing.
That's like 3 tries.
In terms of periods and health and safety and stuff, like for that, it's, you have to try.
Yeah.
Which brings me to another superstition, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. There are period huts.
Yes, the red tent. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That they still do it, actually. I mean, in some countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where they send women during their period because they deem them to be unclean.
Well, some of them are a lot more, what's the word that I want? Like, I'm not going to find that word and I'm so upset, but the malicious, maybe. Like, some of them are more malicious in the way of like, you're dirty, you can't look at us. And that's really true. But there are some where like, you don't want to fucking look at people when you're on your period. And so like, it would just be this house at the end of the village. And you would just go and be with other women who are on their period, and you're probably pretty synced up because your diets are really similar and like your activities are really similar. And so it's probably like most women are in there at about the same time. And you just,
which would be kind of fun. To be honest.
And you just chill out for 4 days with no dudes, like rubbing each other's shoulders, telling all the gossip. That would be nice. Like
that version, I like.
Yeah, the other one is really gross and upsetting. But
yes, it is.
But the one where it's just like being on your period, like pregnancy, being on your period is fucking hard. And we're not allowed to talk about it. It's exhausting and it hurts. And you need to sleep a lot more. And you have to poop a lot more.
Well, apparently you don't actually have to poop a lot more unless you're eating more, of course, then you would actually have to poop more. It's just the contractions in your uterus makes it feel like you have to go to the bathroom. I read this somewhere.
It there's that, but it also, you're not digesting as much as you would.
Yes,
so
that's also another part of it.
Through you.
You're not actually pooping more, you're just not absorbing as much, and therefore you are pooping more.
Yeah, but it's not like the normal poops, which is why they suck so hard. And you're not getting as many nutrients, so you're fucking tired.
Yeah,
just exhausted and
not to mention
sick.
all the iron that you're losing, carrying all the oxygens out of you.
Speaking of iron, why does that supposedly protect you from like bad things? Does anybody know about that? Like werewolves, fairies.
Well, werewolves are silver. And it's because it's considered a poison of the blood, and silver is a very clean metal. Iron with fairies. Let me double check.
While you're checking that, I was reading, I just stumbled upon, like, I was trying to figure out, like, why we do these weird, like, funeral superstitions. And there's one on the list that says, don't go to a funeral if you're on your period. And if you do, apparently you'll have foul-smelling menses for months.
Oh no.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds like some misogynist bullshit.
Yeah, that just sounds like some crazy guy.
You want to know what's really interesting? Actually, periods I can also talk a lot about. So the way that modern pads are designed is to encourage higher blood flow. And there's something in the pads that makes them smell. So if you switch to cloth pads and a cup, it doesn't smell.
Oh.
Huh.
And I've been on cloth pads for more than 10 years now. Like I was in college when I started them. And yeah, it doesn't smell. And they're not like in your trash can because you put them in your sink and you rinse them out and then you put them in the washer.
Yeah.
Like the smell completely goes away. And your periods also get shorter.
What?
Yeah. Like my period when I was on regular pads was 5 to 7 days. And then when I'm on birth control now, so it's completely different. But when I wasn't on birth control, it cut down to 3 days. It would be 2 really, really heavy days, a light day, and then it would be done.
Wow.
Interesting.
Just because I switched pads.
Wow.
Nice.
Isn't that shit crazy?
That is pretty crazy.
Good to know. Because I was thinking about the cups.
Yeah.
I love
me
my cup.
too.
It's supposed to be like better, easier, better for the environment, better for you. It's just like a good all around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unless you like are a gusher, you only have to change them like
A
a couple
gusher.
times a day. Some people really, really flow.
Put a warning before this episode starts.
Yeah. No.
Don't like talking
Oh,
about
sorry. The dogs have been summoned.
Puppies.
And they're done.
Anyone who's seen the 2014 movie Maleficent knows that iron burns fairies, because that's our only point of reference, apparently.
That's ridiculous. That's the only point of reference that most people have.
That's funny.
But then
That's one of those things that's just like I'm so disconnected from that world of people who don't know this shit that I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like you literally just had to mention a Disney movie. Like, what?
And this also was written in 2017, so like they went all the way back to 2014. It's like that's the only reference.
That's a little much. Like, aren't there fairy tales out there? I don't know. I would assume so.
I mean, the only thing I knew about fairies was Tinkerbell. So.
Well, I actually had this book growing up that was, I forget what it's called, but it was like a different type of fairy tale book where the fairies were actually like naughty little creatures and not, helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Like they stole this woman and her entire kitchen because they wanted her to make them a cake. Mm-hmm. And they said that they were going to like steal her firstborn if she didn't. Mm-hmm. So she had to like trick them out of the cake or something and stealing her baby, and somehow she gets away.
Yeah. Fairies are like a whole thing, especially in Ireland and Scotland. Like they're a whole different deal than Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Fairies are not to be fucked with.
Which, leads me to like, what about gnomes? What about dwarves? Are those something we should worry about too? Or is that
they
just
all
a
have
superstition?
Their own thing. Well, that's where it differentiates for me into this being a mythological creature and a superstition.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, those are different categories for me. Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure out this fucking cold iron thing. They're just like, in modern stories, iron is fairies' kryptonite. And I'm like, okay. I guess, and this makes sense because we do use cold iron for that. So cold iron is, I thought it was natural occurring iron, but I think that's wrong.
Maybe it's the way that it's smithed.
Well, it's different than cold iron, than cold wrought iron.
Okay.
Which is where you like hammer iron without being hot.
Oh, okay.
But they're just talking about how it's So they're like, this phrase is so confusing because also there's cold wrought iron, but it's not cold wrought iron. It's like, well, then what is it?
Yeah.
They're like, they put it in their bread. It's like, so what is it?
What?
I thought it was iron that you like it was ore, you know? Like you didn't do anything to it.
Oh, like naturally occurring?
Yeah.
Before you smelt it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was still dirty. This is the most unhelpful article. I'm just gonna Google what is cold iron. So basically, it looks like what it comes down to is that iron has anti-magical properties, and that makes sense because it's very grounding.
Mm-hmm.
And then so it left fairies unprotected.
So left them without magic type.
Yeah, like they couldn't.
Abilities.
So they become
What is
bored.
cold iron actually? Yeah, cold iron is iron that's never been worked in a fire. Yeah, that's what I assumed.
How do you turn cold iron into a dagger or like
With a hammer
Oh.
and just shaving it.
Yeah.
So you
like
can't
it's more
melt
likely
it,
to
you gotta-
break. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
That's why they're usually very crude. Like cold iron nails and daggers and stuff are different.
Okay. Noted
Cold
if I have
iron.
any issues with fairies.
Well, there's a lot easier ways to ask fairies to leave you alone. Like the easiest way is just to be like, here's some
Leave me
chocolate
alone.
chips. Have a great day. Please stay over there.
Oh, okay.
So
So you
the protection money. You throw pennies. Well, no, that's actually for goblins. But yeah, you make a little fairy house, and then you offer them like chocolate chips, and some people say they only want butter, but I think that's like a regional thing.
yeah.
We always use chocolate.
I've actually
chips and
seen that
some
on
milk and
TikTok
wine.
too. Wasn't it milk and like, or what is that stuff in the can? Sweetened condensed milk or something like
Yes. Yeah, that one's popular. What is? I can't believe this is so difficult to Google. I'm so good at Google. This is so difficult to Google.
Well, while you're Googling, Mia, did you have any other superstitions?
Yeah, one that I really like is saying like, well, not that I do it. I don't like saying it, but that people do it is God bless you after you sneeze. Or
that one
bless
has a
you.
lot of stuff attached to it.
There's a lot of different like, yeah, this, the Pope would bless sick people and they'd get better. But my favorite one is that when you sneeze, your heart contractions actually stop for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're technically dead. And so they say bless you to make sure like nothing bad gets into you, or that if you died, you go to heaven.
Or your spirit doesn't escape.
Yeah, something like that. And I know there's a lot of other traditions and regional differences to it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my favorite. Just because it's like, oh, that makes kind of sense. Your heart stops because you're contracting so hard.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't think your heart actually stops.
No, I don't think so.
Because you would have to have one hell of a sneeze to make something that is
Like
voluntarily working all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, like, there's also the one where if you sneeze with your eyes open, they'll pop out.
Yeah.
Not true.
That's not a thing.
Yeah. I mean, they might bulge a little bit because you'll feel pressure, but they're not going to pop out unless you have like
unless they've popped out before.
Yeah, like if you have like severe trauma to your eyes.
Yeah, your ocular circles have to be real broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just weird to do that because you would have to purposely keep your eyes open when you sneeze.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
The Mythbusters, it took them a bunch of tries.
Yeah, and it's like someone's like holding your eyelids open for you or something.
Yeah, I can do it when I'm driving.
That's a good skill.
Yeah. Like I'll go out of my way because I used to drive on like shitty back roads. Like I learned to drive on shitty back roads, and then I had to drive to the mine on shitty back roads, and so I needed to be well aware of all the things happening in front of me at all times.
Yeah.
So when I'm driving, I can sneeze with my eyes open. I could probably do it normally, but I don't really have to. So
Yeah. What a skill to have.
Put it on your resume.
I was gonna say that. Oh, that's funny. Did you have another one?
I mean, I always like talking about black cats and people's superstitions behind them. Like a black cat appearing or crossing your path is bad luck, but
it's good luck.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like cats are so beneficial, especially like when the plague happened, everybody was superstitious of black cats, so they ended up killing a bunch of cats, which kept the rodent population in control, which made the rodent population explode.
Yeah.
And what was the plague transferred by? Fleas on rats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a bunch of people died because of superstition.
Mm-hmm.
And cats in general just like are super cool. But
they're super cool and they're super helpful.
Yeah, and like if they keep the rodent
not anymore,
population
like
down,
with the birds. Cats should not be allowed outside in modern days, but before like modern pest control, they were pretty great.
Yeah. They were very necessary too, like to keep the rodent population in control, especially when they didn't have like metal barrels to keep their seed in or you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. Any sanitation practices whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, cats traditionally in like at least what I've always worked with pagan wise is like a black cat crossing your path isn't that it like it's a shift in luck, or like maybe the cat's trying to tell you that you're on the wrong path. And so like I think it's Japanese, but I know it's in other places too, where like if a cat crosses you, if you follow it, it'll take you somewhere else, like usually another realm or something. There's movies about that, but like following like cats is fun. And usually if a cat is like, hey, come follow me, they got some shit to show you.
Yeah, they do.
Like cats don't just walk up to you and be like, hey, yo, come here. Without having attention.
Very, most of the time, keep to themselves, not antisocial, but like they have their own thing going on.
They trust their tribe.
Yeah.
Have you heard that thing about how, well, I guess if you don't know a lot about fairies, it doesn't really mean a lot. So within the fairies, like traditionally, like when they refer to them as the fair folk or like the little people and stuff like that, because referring to them as fairies calls them, and you don't necessarily want fairies hanging around. But if you needed something done, you would appeal to the fairies, and they may or may not help you. And so people compare that to when like a squirrel or a chipmunk, if they get stuck in something and they come up to humans and are like, hey, can you help me? And like the human might suck or the human might help them out. And so you can compare that to how people generally interact with the fairies. They're like, those things are bigger than me and smarter than me and really scary. And they have unworldly powers that I cannot conceive of because I am a squirrel. But maybe they'll help me.
Because I am a squirrel.
Because I am a squirrel. Fairies could be like a whole hours long conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting one. All these like supernatural, or at least to us, supernatural stuff is interesting. Like I was not prepared for the slew of stuff my relatives would tell me to not do and to do when my dad died. Yeah. I was like, hold on, give me a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the olden times, they like covered mirrors and
that's one of them.
Made sure they had a wake, and you have to stay up with the body. Basically.
Well, that was also because like people didn't know what comas were. Yeah. And so like they might wake up and be fine.
Yeah, like the bells on the grave thing. Sometimes they were legit buried alive and needed to, ring their little bell. I wonder if that actually ever worked.
Not nearly as prevalent as people make it sound, but there were places where that happened. Okay. There was also a patent for one that was just a pipe. Like it was just a pipe that went all the way into the coffin, and so they could just speak into the pipe. Oh. And then the gravekeeper would make his rounds and be like, "Oh, there's noise."
Oh, well, you're not dead.
How creepy is that though?
Right?
Middle of the night, and someone's like, "Hello."
Excuse me.
I'm not dead.
Yeah, there was a lady who got buried twice.
Oh, that poor thing.
I'm gonna see if I can find her name. The lady that lived once but was buried twice. What's your name, ma'am? Marjorie McCall.
You think they would have figured it out the first time?
Well, she
was actually dead the second time.
She was dead the second time.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was in the grave, and then robbers came like within, the night, and they were dug her up, and they tried to get her wedding ring off, and it wouldn't come off, so they tried to cut her finger off, and she woke up.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Yeah. And she went home.
I mean, good thing for those robbers, I guess.
Yeah. She's in Ireland. Shankhill Church of Ireland Cemetery.
They probably never robbed a grave again after that.
I don't know. It's really easy money.
Yeah.
But she could also identify them, so there's that.
That's true.
I could talk about cryptids and folklore and all kinds of shit for a long time.
Oh, yeah. I think cryptids could be its own thing.
Cryptids could be 15 of their own things.
Because one superstition that I read is that you don't whistle indoors. But what I've been hearing lately, especially on Appalachian TikTok, is that you don't whistle outside, especially after dark.
Because you'll get answers.
You'll get answers that you don't want.
Yeah.
And that children are taught never to go into the forest alone without telling an adult, because no one's going to go into the forest yelling your name.
Yeah.
Because of the skinwalkers. And
well, skinwalkers are specifically Navajo.
But like the idea.
Stuff. But yeah, like the
things that live in there. Yeah, the boogeymen.
Yeah, people get very angry about misattributing like the Wendigoig and the skinwalkers and stuff.
Yeah.
But
my bad.
But yeah, no worries. It's not, unless you're in that, it's not something that people know. It's that thing with like Indian burial grounds, where people are like, Indian burial grounds. It's like, no, it's a graveyard, you guys. Like, it's exactly as spiritual and special as a graveyard.
Yeah.
Don't be shitty in a graveyard.
Yeah, be respectful, because it's people's loved ones, and that's where they're buried.
These people had lives, and this place is sacred.
Yeah.
Don't be a shitbag. Don't build your houses on top of it.
Yeah, kind of rude.
Another thing that my family was like talking about is, so for any Filipino event, regardless living or dead, there's always food, which is like, common all over the world. Obviously, food is just like a common thing for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But one of the things they told us not to do is bring the food home, because the food is supposed to be like for there and for the dead. And then if you bring the food home, you're essentially inviting spirits back to your house, or like the dead back to your house.
That makes sense.
I feel like there's a rational idea behind that, but they just kind of cloaked it in superstition.
Well, it also, when you live in a polytheistic society and an animist and like spiritualist society, like that's a very real thing that like happens. Like you're like that kind of worldview is so prevalent. that it's just respect. Like you want to care for it. And and understanding, like, I made these food for you, my loved one who is now passed. I don't want to take it away from you. And I have said that this is yours. And so you're like, oh, well, let's go where it goes.
Yeah.
This is mine now. I'm going to follow it.
My question is, what do you actually do with that food, though? Like, I know you leave it out on like an altar or something like that, but I mean, eventually you have to do something with it, right?
Well, for us, we we had the guests bring it home. So my mom brought like to-go containers, and then she was like, yeah, take as much as you want and take it home.
Hella funny.
Like, you take the dead home with you.
Y'all, I mean, that sort of tracks. Like, y'all aren't Filipinos, so maybe these don't fit in necessarily. But like, they don't, they're going to be like, you're not mine. Go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
I just thought it was funny because we were like, my brother told me that, and then I was like, but we are having people bring food home.
Yeah.
So that's okay. He's like, yeah, just don't bring it to your home. And I was like, okay, duly noted.
Y'all got your low-key spiritual warfare going on. That's hella funny.
Yeah. Because I guess, well, I think this is more Catholic, but like my dad, for example, is still amongst us for 40 days, right? Like, I don't know if you guys know. Well, Mia, you grew up kind of
spiritually or the body?
Spiritually is with us for 40 days. And so
yeah, there's a lot of 40 days stuff in Catholicism, Christianity.
Because then you go back and do like the rosary on the 40th day to like help them, find their way to heaven and whatever. Like another thing that they do is like, you don't wear shoes. Like in the casket, the person doesn't wear shoes. And it has to do something about because they're still visiting, and so if they wear shoes, you can hear them walk amongst you. But if they're not wearing shoes, then they're just like,
so that's just so you can sleep at night.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also makes sense, like, if you were not that well off to not bury somebody with shoes, because shoes are kind of like
that makes sense.
More expensive item. Yeah.
You need those.
Yeah.
The 40 days and 40 nights thing is Judaism has a lot of really heavy numerology. And 40 days and 40 nights generally means like he did it until he was done. So like when Jesus goes off into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, it probably wasn't 20 twice. It was he was there until he was done. And so like it rained until it stopped raining.
Oh, okay.
And it was a long time. And so the 40 days and 40 nights is just in general, it was a while, and he did it until he felt that he was done. So
interesting.
That's where that comes from.
Why 40 specifically?
It's a generally
Lent,
large
I
number,
think.
and it might be Lent.
Something, I don't know. Back in the day, people lived to 40, and that was like old. I don't know.
That's not true. That's hella not true.
I know.
People lived well into their 70s, if not way later. But the infant rate was so high that it was skewed ridiculously down. If you lived to 12, you were probably living into your 70s.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Me with my misinformation left and right.
That's okay. I mean, there's, whatever.
Yeah, it just says it means a long time. When it was used in terms of times, it meant a long time. 40 days and 40 nights just means a really long time.
Okay. Yeah, because 40 is what's significant. Isn't it like from Ash Wednesday, it's 40 days until like Easter?
Mardi Gras.
Oh, Mia.
I thought Ash Wednesday was right next to Easter. 40 is the only word form of a number where all letters appear in alphabetical order. That only works in English. It represents a period of trial, probation, and chastisement.
Oh, okay. So I have to go, actually.
Oh, okay.
Is that all right, or should I rearrange plans?
I mean, you do you, boo. Whatever you need to do, that's up to you. I'm not gonna tell you.
Well, I just had plans at 1, and it takes a half an hour to get anywhere, and I wanted to have lunch first.
Okay. Yeah, you could go. I'm not,
Okay.
You're not forced into
Sorry.
this. No contract.
But
now you'll be alone with me.
Yes. You guys either feel free to continue, or if you want to do a part 2, I'm available.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll text you.
Whatever you want to do, just text me. I think it would be cool to do one about cryptids. Like I said.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Talk hella stuff about cryptids. I just need that one. We will have to get specific on because I know so much. We'll need to drill down.
All right. Well, I'll see you ladies later. Have fun.
I love you, Mia.
Love you too. Love you, Melissa.
Good day. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Hi. It's up to you if you want to still keep going. I know you were looking something up.
I was still kind of looking at the cold iron thing, but mostly it's such a thing where someone wrote an article 80 years ago, and then somebody found that article and quoted that article, and then somebody found that quoted article and quoted that article. And so that's how a lot of folklore stuff gets spread, and like superstitions and stuff. And so they're not necessarily historically correct. But it's what you can find because it's what everybody else is referencing.
Like playing telephone.
Yeah. And somebody picked up on this one fact that may or may not be true, but it's the one that everybody quotes, and like literally copying, pasting quotes.
Okay.
But what I found, I feel like I knew another thing that wasn't this, but what I found was that the cold iron negates magic.
Okay. That's the main thing.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I thought it was something else. Like some kind of actual allergy problem. But
okay.
Yeah.
But talking about fairies, so I went to visit my friend, and she did what are they called? Not tarot cards. Oracle cards?
Those are a thing. Yes. Yeah, there's tarot cards, there's oracle cards, there's Lenormand cards, there's lots of cards. But oracle cards are pretty common.
Yeah, she did an oracle card reading for me, and it's like, and it had to do with like fairies, and she was talking to me that she was telling me like fairies are all around you and they're listening, and all this stuff about like, I guess there's like light and dark cards or something, and so her deck was specifically light fairies or something like that. So I was just like curious if you knew what the difference was, or because I thought, or I was thinking about tarot cards, but she's like, no, these aren't tarot cards, and
they're a little different. Yeah. They're like, they're simplified by being complicated. Because like so with a tarot card, when you make a spread, the way that the cards talk to each other is just as important as what's on the card. And with an oracle card, depending on the deck, with an oracle card, you usually only pull 1 to 3, and it means like specific stuff, versus like an interpretation with tarot. With fairies, I said this before, I don't like to use light and dark as terms, because like dark isn't bad.
Right.
But there are fairies that like are mischievous, and they kind of want to fuck with people because they're jaded and tired of people fucking with them.
Right.
And light, like what you would call a light fairy. Some fairies are friendly, like people. you might have fairies running around you. I'd have to know more about the oracle, the deck itself, but having fairies around you isn't bad either way. Do they fuck with you? Like, does your shit go missing?
No.
No? Do you have, like, random presents? Like, do you find pennies a lot? Or, like, random little shinies?
No.
I don't know. I would have to know more about the deck she's using. But,
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing having fairies around you. but like with light and dark, like people can be both in the same person.
Right.
Like if they get pissed off, they might start acting shitty. What you could do if you have a lot around you, just to like, you know, a general sign of respect. Like I said, you could build a little fairy garden. Just, you know, get the little mushrooms from Michael's and like some little sparkly dots. Like the little glass, we call them dragon tears. Like it's like a half marble where it's flat on the bottom and then like an oblong, a marbly thing. They sell them for like fish tanks and flower vases. You got to put those little down like little pass stones, and then you could be like, hey, it's cool that you're here. Thanks for hanging out. Here's some chocolate chips. I used to keep the vanilla chocolate chips from the bulk section of Winco. I would just have a bag of them in my window and be like, here you go. And just sort of toss them out. But
you ever go to McKinley Park?
Where's that?
So it's like closer to downtown, like in Midtown, kind of.
Oh, I think I went to a birthday there.
They have the Rose Garden. That's what they're known for.
Oh, do they? That's cool.
But they have these little, I guess they're like little fairy houses, but they're like built into the trees.
Yeah, so that's pretty common.
Yeah,
like find a little nook and put a door on.
Yeah, it's like it's so cute, but they're like all over McKinley Park.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's like the first time I've ever really seen something like that. And I was like, what is this? Like, why are people making these like little tiny houses?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize you were like fairy houses.
That's precious.
Yeah. It's cute. I like it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I want to go take pictures of all the fairy houses.
You should. It's a little park. Oh, it's not little. It's pretty big, but it's a cool park. Yeah. And they have like their rose garden, and it's like really beautiful during the springtime when it's in season.
Cool. That sounds awesome. Yeah, fairies, you just be respectful. It's the biggest thing with most supernatural anything.
Right.
Just like treat them like they're a person, and they'll usually be cool. Like, yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know. I'd have to know more specifics about maybe what she said, but if you have, like, it's not bad, like I said, to have them hanging around.
Was bad. It was interesting because I don't know much about like card readings, and just one day I was just like, I want to do a tarot card reading, and she's like, oh, well, I have oracle cards if you want me to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. And so we just did it one night, and it was pretty interesting. It had like the way she did it, like I had to ask a question, whether in my head or out loud, to the fairies, and then the cards would like tell me, you know, not necessarily like an answer, but a response to those questions and stuff. And I got a lot about work, like my career. I got a concerning one. So I don't want kids. It was never in our plan, and I was very specific to Brandon. I was like, if we're gonna get married, just know I don't want kids. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. But I got the pregnancy card, a daughter card, and children. And my friend was saying, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be pregnant, but like she was trying to explain, like, it could be like children in your life that are significant, or like
it could be literal children, it could be figurative children, it could be like not even figuratively, like it could not be a people. It could be a project that you're working on. It could be a pet. it could be a lot of stuff. Pregnancy usually in like that sort of thing, unless you're actively trying for babies or like literally a baby is on the way, because like some women don't keep up with that sort of thing. And then they're like surprise pregnant. Whether they got lied to about their fertility type or they miscounted on their days or something like that. Like it could literally mean a baby, but it could also mean any number of fertile efforts that you are putting forward. So like if you're working on like the podcast, if you were like working on a new project for the podcast, or if you were working on a new avenue for your work, something like that, it could be lots of stuff.
That's good to know.
Yeah. If you don't want it to be kids, you don't have to let it be kids.
Okay. I was like, I really hope I'm not pregnant right now.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they trying to tell me?
Yeah. No, it doesn't automatically mean a baby. It could just mean like you become a mentor of someone, or it could mean not a person at all. Are you getting a new puppy?
Brandon does have like puppy fever. I was telling her that. But man, dogs are hard.
Dogs are hard.
They're expensive, and you gotta train them, and
they need space, and they need constant attention.
Yeah.
That's why I have cats right now, is that I can't give a dog the kind of love and attention that it needs. I can give it the love, I just can't give it the activity that it requires.
Right. Yeah. I know I have to like always make sure I walk my dog or play with him. Like they're very needy animals, which I mean I love. I would never give up my dog or anything like that, but
no,
just having another one.
But God, their work.
Yeah. I know. I would love to have a cat, but I'm allergic to cats, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does, because I think they're cool.
Cat people that have allergies are funny, because they're like, oh yeah, no, I can't breathe, but I love them, and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, my sister gets like a special like allergy shot.
Yeah.
Every like how often, just so she can have her cats.
Yeah.
Like man,
or
that's
just live on Benadryl, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But she loves her cats, so she doesn't have any right now.
Aw.
Yeah. But she's always had a cat for as long as I can remember.
Cats are cool. My cats are 12, and I've had them since they were about 10 weeks old.
Cats live pretty long, don't they?
Yeah, they can live into their 20s. It's not uncommon for them to kind of peter out in the teens, but they can live into their 20s. I think the oldest one on record is 29.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah. Or maybe it's 39. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's super long. I mean, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
They seem, I don't know, because they keep themselves occupied, and you don't really have to worry about their exercise or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. They're pretty self-sustaining.
Yeah. You want to play with them and like tire them out. Like they have their own amount of activity that they need. But they're also like down with just sitting on the couch with you.
Yeah.
But they're also like deceptively needy. My cats come in and yell at me after 9:30 if I'm not in the bedroom.
Oh, how funny.
They're like, excuse me, ma'am, it's bedtime.
Oh, that's cute.
They will straight up yell at me.
Yeah.
Or because I've been like home for almost 2 years now. If I am not at my computer or in the TV, Mimi will find me and yell at me until I come sit down so that she can sit on me.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like have a bad view of cats because like they don't do anything, they don't love you or whatever.
They're such like squishy, lovey sluts. Like they are just like the googliest eyed, so in love with you. Like once they pick you, it's like a high school crush. Like they're obsessed with you.
Oh, that's cute.
They call him the tsundere the tsundere creature, which is like a Japanese trope of the girl who's like, it's not like I like you, okay? I'm just sitting next to you as a coincidence.
Oh.
So that's what cats are.
That's funny. I like that.
It's not like I like you. I'm just obsessed with you. I need to be with you at every second. It's a coincidence that we're both on the same couch. Okay.
Yeah. I would love to have a cat. I wish I wasn't allergic to them.
Yeah. Some people can make it work. And some people also, if you have an indoor cat, like you never let it outside, which you shouldn't do anyway, because they're an ecological nightmare. But if you have a strictly indoor cat, sometimes it's not a problem. Or if you get a naked cat, they're cool. Little house goblins. They're fun.
Aren't they like super expensive?
They can be, because usually they're breeders, and they'll charge like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But it's also a cat that's completely hyperallergenic. Like, and to some people, that's worth it. Sphinxes are really active, though. They need shit to do. They will get into everything. But they're naked and they look like little goblins. Funny little goblins.
Yeah, I've never seen one in real life, but I've seen them like on TV shows, and
they're funny. You have to bathe them, and some people don't, and so people think they're really stinky and gross, and that's because you have to like watch them because they don't have
fur.
Yeah, they don't have fur to like distribute the oils in their skin, and so you have to. I think it's like once a week or something. You just give them a gentle little bath, and then they smell like they don't smell any more than people smell. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that was you had to do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, the naked cats need baths. And some cats are just really bad at washing themselves, and you have to wash them anyway. I don't wash my cats. My cats are good. They don't get stinky. But
so are you doing anything for Halloween?
I don't think so. What day is Halloween? Oh, Halloween's a Sunday? Yeah, no, they're going to play D&D. We're not doing anything. Oh. I think they're all cosplaying their D&D characters, and I will probably be on Minecraft with my brother in Canada.
Oh, so you don't do the whole D&D thing?
Not with that group. It's the whole thing. But
okay.
It was negative. It is no longer negative. Like they've moved well beyond the toxic people that were in that group. But but I no longer play with them. But my boyfriend and then my brother who lives with us are both in that group. And so I started on Sunday nights while they're playing. I started talking to my other brother. I have 6 of them, but the one in Canada, I talk to him. We have a date every Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah. Talk on the internets until he's done talking, and then we go our separate ways.
So there's 7 of you total?
One of them is my dad's, but in my mom's side, yeah, there's 6 of us.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm the only girl.
Dang. Yeah,
Yep.
it's just me and my brother growing up. But I have 3 other siblings, but they're from my dad's first family.
Yeah. Separate generations and stuff.
Yeah. Well, they're like way older. Like my sister's the same age as my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why all my nieces and nephews are my age or older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom's like that. That's like we came in sets. There's the born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s set, and then there's the born in the 90s, grew up now set.
Nice.
So I've got like my oldest brother and my dad are pretty close age wise and Fred wise, but
yeah. So I always forget that they're my siblings. I always forget there's 5 of us total, but really it's me and my brother because they're more like my aunt and uncle. Yeah. Like that kind of relationship.
Yeah, like age-wise and location-wise, once they're already out.
Yeah.
Like by the time I was a teenager, all my older brothers had moved out.
Okay.
So it was just functionally, we were just a 5-person family.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because my siblings were already married and having or had kids, so they were like never really. There was never that sibling relationship.
Yeah, they were off being adults with lives that they had to deal with.
Yeah, it's closer. Like my nieces and nephews are more like my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
That's like how we used to refer to each other because people would get so confused.
Yeah.
I did go to high school with my nephews.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's my aunt. And they're like, okay. Not sure how that works, but all right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I feel like I'm learning more about you every time we talk.
Did I tell you my ex called me an audiobook once?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it's an ADHD thing where you overshare.
Oh, is it really?
Apparently. I mean, I just always was that, but I guess it's a symptom of ADHD. So, hooray for that.
Yeah. Well, I was telling my friend, like not in a narcissistic or egotistical way, that I do like talking about myself, but that's because like I like talking about things that I know, and myself is what I know most of.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I like talking about myself.
I mean, that's what stories are available. I mean,
but it just sounds like narcissistic, like, oh my God, like I want to talk about myself, only about myself. But it's like, no, it's just that's the subject I know most about.
Especially now, like nothing else is going on. We're sitting at home. And like some people are like, there's a pandemic, and some people are like, it's over. And like, but otherwise you're just sort of like just existing while the world is on hold. Like there's not a lot of other shit to be doing.
Yeah, there's not much new to talk about.
Yeah. You're just
I was like, here's my childhood.
I straight up, like, the most interesting thing I've done, I built a cathedral in Minecraft. It took me like 2 weeks, the end. That's the cool shit I'm doing.
Oh, jeez. I haven't.
My garden is dying because it's October. And
oh, yeah. I know my mom's garden is like, basically, she's starting all over, I guess. Because I was like, what happened to your garden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just letting it go. I stopped watering the tomatoes because like we don't eat tomatoes, but I grew tomatoes to make pizza sauce, and I have now filled 2 freezer bags to make my sauce. And so I'm done with the tomatoes, and I'm letting them dry out and die. And then I'll just pick whatever ripens in the meantime. And then I've got on top of that, sometimes I just don't go outside because it's full of mosquitoes now that it's not 116. And so I don't want to get eaten to death. And so sometimes I just forget to water. But it's also cooler, so that's not as big of an issue.
Yeah.
But, like my melons are almost done. My basil's pretty much done. I don't think my peppers are going to set any more fruit. They're just ripening what they have. My ground cherries are dead because the pot that they're in is too small for them. Which is
it's a lot of work.
It's ridiculous because it's like a 16-inch pot, but it's too small. It's like 4 gallons of dirt. It's too small.
Jeez, that's heavy.
Yeah. I should plant peas. It's pea time.
Yeah, I need to start my garden. I haven't even started. I have like seeds and stuff, but I've just been kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my mom's retired, so it's not like she's got work or anything. But yeah, but she just did her final harvest, and then she's letting things die, and then she's gonna start all over next year because she wants to reposition everything.
Mm-hmm.
And make it a little nicer. And she made the mistake of growing. What does she grow? Squash. And she didn't realize that, like, squash like grows a lot, in quantities. And
Yeah,
she's like, I
it's
don't want
slow,
this.
it's slow, it's slow, it's slow, it's slow, and then it explodes.
Yeah.
It takes
Yeah.
like 160 days, and then it's like, here's 80 zucchini.
Yeah. Because I went to her house, she just had this mountain of squash, and I was like, are you gonna eat all this? Like, why is there
Yeah.
so many? And she's like, I didn't know it was gonna be so many. So she just like gave them to people, and then she
Yeah.
started bagging them up and leaving them at her neighbor's front door.
That's hella funny.
Yeah.
My parents, because their house burned down, so they had to move. They got this house that came. It's like a big old ranch, and then it's got like a smaller, like a mother-in-law property kind of thing. So there's like a house inside the ranch, and it had a whole, like a big garden with raised beds, and it's a couple hundred square feet, maybe bigger. I don't know how square feet works very well, but but they've got, because it was clearly tended until about June or July, and then it's been growing over since then. And there's like zucchinis in there that are like the size of babies.
Wow.
Because they weren't picked on time, and now they weigh like 18 pounds.
Oh my God.
You're like, what do I do with this?
Can you still eat it?
I think you can, but it's been on the ground so long that the ants have probably gotten to the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could cut around that if you were hurting for zucchini. But it's cool though, because they've got like whoever planted this shit was like very thoughtful, because like there's the tomato cages that are just like this fence that's like in a square, and then the tomatoes go up it, and then at like the base of it are carrots in the shade of the tomatoes. And so there's just like these cute little poofs of like, have you seen carrot flowers before?
Yeah.
There's just like these cute little carrot flowers coming up and like the little lacy little leaves. And you're just like, whoop, here's a carrot. And then on the other side, there's green onions. It's precious. Oh, it's so cute. I'm so jealous. Their pepper bushes are massive.
Dang. Yeah, I keep saying this, I want to grow my own garden, but I've yet to do anything. I
started with basil.
Yeah.
I planted, honestly, like 40 basil plants. And then, because I just put them in the seed tray, and I just filled up the seed tray. And then I split them all. And then, so last year I had just like these basils, and I was just figuring out how plants go. And then this year I did like a real big one. Like I've got melons, and I've got Armenian cucumber melons. So like they're still a melon, but like they taste and eat like a cucumber.
That's interesting.
They're really cool. And then I've got the ground cherries. I've got tomatoes. I had tomatillos. Those are super cute. I have purple tomatillos.
Oh.
And then I've got natapinos, which are jalapenos that don't have any spice. And then I've got shishito peppers, and I've got red bell peppers. I had an eggplant. Eggplants are cool. I never ate any of them, because I would pick them and be like, I'm gonna taste you, and then it would rot in the fridge. But they're really cool to watch grow. They look like
white.
Mine didn't. Mine came out a little purple, and then they got black.
Okay.
But the flowers like look pregnant. You're like, that's a normal flower. That's a normal flower. That's gonna be a fruit. Like it looks pregnant. It's really interesting. Like it's really bulbous up at the top.
Yeah.
When they're ready to set fruit.
And my mom grew the Japanese eggplants, so they're not like.
Oh, the skinny ones?
Yeah, the skinny ones.
Those are
skinny,
cool.
long ones.
Those are cool.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
What do they taste like? Because they're a nightshade, and I don't like tomatoes, and that's honestly what kept me from tasting them. But I was imagining it's like if a tomato was a squash.
No, it doesn't taste like a tomato. Like it's not, because tomatoes are kind of, what's the word? I don't say tart, but like they're not
tangy.
Yeah, Yeah, tangy. They're not tangy. It's not like that. It's
and that's
more
not
subtle.
that's what I don't like is the bite in the tomato.
Okay. Yeah, no. The eggplants are more subtle.
Okay.
Or at least like the Japanese one. I don't know about the
bigger ones.
This one's, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of superstitions, you gotta plant rosemary by your garden gate.
Okay.
What's
that?
I think it's like it's one of those ones where I think
like
it's for
protect
good luck.
Your garden, or okay.
Deter or confuse pests who want to prey on your plant.
Okay.
But also I think it brings good fortune. But I think that's in the farmer way of like your garden lives.
Okay. Rosemary.
Yeah, rosemary is real stinky and it keeps a lot of the caterpillars away.
Okay.
And then lavender is good luck, but don't lick your fingers after playing with a lavender plant because it is so bitter and gross.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had been making a lavender wand and I my fingers just go in my mouth. It's like a fidget thing. And lavender oil does not taste good.
Don't people make food using lavender?
Lavender flowers.
Oh, okay.
But like the oils, like if they're really concentrated, like if you've been rubbing on it a lot. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not tasty. The flowers are a lot more subtle. And if you bake it helps. But like in cookies and tea and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know the oils were bitter, but
it's not yummy. Not yummy.
Good to know.
Basil, it smells awesome for one, but if you let it go to flower, the bees are all over it. It's awesome. They're so cute. Because it's these little delicate little white flowers, but they come up in like a stalk. And it looks like a lavender. If a lavender like was spaced out and kept going, and they've got these delicate little white flowers and they'll just be covered with bees. They're so pretty. And they attract love, passion, luck, wealth, and beauty to your home.
Oh, okay.
And it's been credited with helping people achieve financial success without effort.
Oh, well, everyone always wants that.
Everybody wants that.
Basil. I do love basil.
I keep forgetting to eat my basil. I just sniff it and like rub on it. But if you prune basil right, you can get like one plant to be just massive.
Okay.
Like my basil plants are gigantic because I just kept pulling the flower heads off.
So do you grow from seed or do you like buy little baby plants?
I only bought my peppers and my eggplant. I have one eggplant plant, and then I bought two shishito pepper plants and 2 red bell pepper plants, and everything else was from seed.
Okay.
And I started kind of late because like a lot of people in Sacramento start their seeds in like December, and then they'll plant like 8 to 10 week old plants in February, March, since our grow season is so long. But I started probably in about February and then had all my plants out by March. But I also started a lot of seeds outside in the little plastic dome that goes over the seed trays. I just kept those outside. And then if it was going to be frosty, I would bring them inside for the night.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, when do I actually start growing the seeds?
Yeah. About 6 to 8 weeks from when you want to put them out.
Got it.
Yeah. Like some stuff you just want to direct sow. There's a whole list of stuff that you just direct sow. But you can direct sow anything.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. This is like totally different from.
It is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't really know like what people count as superstition versus just what people count as folklore, and like what I would count as just like common practice. Like there's the Appalachian thing where if a broom falls over, that means the company's coming. And so you would keep a broom on your porch. And so if that broom fell over, that means that you should probably clean the house because people are coming over.
Okay.
Trying to think of other ones.
The popular ones. So, a popular one that we do. So I don't know if you have any insight on this one, but where our bed is faced, so our bed can't be like our feet can't be facing the door.
Yeah, that's a practice in Feng Shui as well, and it's part the spiritual side and then part the practical side, because if someone were to open your door and like attack you, then you're in a very vulnerable position in that way. But if your bed is off to the side, they have to then look for you. Right. And so that's the practical aspect. And then the other aspect gets into like your spirit leaving you and your energy being able to travel certain directions and other spirits coming in and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what we've always been told, like, because the door, like any doorway is a doorway to, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
doorways are for passing through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the spirit can go through your doorway and grab your soul through your feet or something like that.
Yeah.
And so you never face your feet towards the door. So no matter where we live, even though we're like not like crazy religious or anything like that, we've always made sure our bed never faced the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also like you don't point a mirror at yourself when you're sleeping. And you don't want a mirror on like on the other side of your door when you open your door, because your energy is always projecting out. Especially when you're asleep, you're more sensitive to that energy. And so if you're asleep and your energy is projecting, the mirror is going to push it back at you and you're not going to sleep very well. And then, if you're putting in flooring, your flooring should always go in the same direction as your door. So if you open your front door, the flooring should be vertical away from you and not horizontal, because it's just a dead stop for the energy if it's horizontal.
Oh. Interesting.
And so if you look at most houses, they'll be that direction. And if they're not that direction, if you walk in, it feels different.
Yeah, our flooring is that direction.
Yeah. But you also like, you don't know if that's like, I would call that like energy practice. I wouldn't call that a superstition. And it's also like aesthetically a practice.
Yeah. I guess I've never really been in a house where, you know what, I'm going to check
it's
my
not
mom's
really
house.
common. A lot of people also, if they live on a corner, or like if their house is at a dead end, they put mirrors on their porch because there's traffic coming at their house constantly. And so you redirect that energy and calm the house down.
Okay.
There was a house on the corner of, when you're going up to Grizzly Flats, there's a split that goes up towards Sly Park and then up towards Grizzly Flats. There's a house on that corner that dead ends where the road to Grizzly Flat is, and there was mirrors on their porch all the time.
I don't think I've seen that, but
it's a big white house. I don't think the mirrors are there anymore. I think the house has changed hands.
Oh, okay.
But it's by the there's a restaurant right there that changes hands all the time, and then there's like a big empty lot that they don't want you to park in, but everybody uses as a turnaround spot.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's a big white house with like a wraparound porch.
Yeah. Interesting. I never noticed that.
Yeah. This was like 10, 15 years ago that the mirrors were there. I don't know if they're still there.
Okay.
I think I remember somebody saying that they sold the house.
Okay. Well, yeah, and then like, so for us, for like if you move, right, and move into a new house, the first thing you bring in is a bag of rice. Yeah, I think it's supposed to like, it's because rice has a lot of meaning in just Asian culture in general.
Yeah.
Like it's prosperity.
It's the lifeblood of the society. I mean,
yeah, exactly. And then some people, they throw salt around the perimeter of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Some people put coins on the corners of the house.
We do the pennies.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
we take a penny and then we put it in the doorway. So like mine is on our front door has a window right next to it that goes into the kitchen, and there's a little tiny sill. So I have a penny on the corner of that sill by the door. And then in our house, it was on the floor, and we just left it on the floor when you open the door. There was like a little opening. There was like a little ante room, and then like a wall with a hole cut out of it that was the living room. And it was in the floor for several months, and then it was moved up to the top of the cutout with the sill. Yeah. When I was looking for houses, there was a house that I really wanted. I had pee that I had acquired from myself, and I would distribute and sort of piss around the house and be like, this is mine now. It didn't work the first time, but it worked the second time.
That's funny.
Yeah. So you put pennies in the corners?
Well, just any type of coin.
Oh, okay.
You just put coins, and it's the corners of the house. I don't know why it specifically corners, but it's corners, and that's supposed to like help with prosperity and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what's the other thing? I know you bring fruit for the spirits.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because every house, every area of this world, because we've just, humans have been here for so long.
We've been here for tens of hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah. So
well before anything was written down.
Yeah. So even if you live in a new house, your house is still on land where someone probably lived.
Yeah, somebody touched it.
Yeah. So that's why it's like, well, they bring the fruits into to just like as an offering because you are in their space because, no matter where you go, there's just going to be spirits, and one day that's going to be your space, and then hopefully they'll respect you. Yeah. So there's that. What's the other thing? I know that like I can't remember what else you're supposed to do when you move in, but I know it's mostly the rice thing, the coins thing, the salt thing, the fruits. I think that's all I can remember.
I know old like 1800s one was that you would make little pouches. I don't remember what went into them because I think it was different every time. But you would make little pouches and bury them on the outside of the house at the corners, or even just the property to like establish a perimeter and protect the stuff inside.
Oh, okay.
And then there were little dolls that little cloth dolls that you would make, and you would put them inside the walls to keep the family together.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You put cloth dolls inside the walls?
In the wall of the house, yeah.
Huh.
Because houses used to have like big gaps between the outside wall and the interior wall of the rooms, because like they didn't have insulation, and so they made air insulation.
I wonder, because Brandon's worked on some of those like Victorian houses downtown, so I wonder if he's ever seen a cloth doll.
My mom has one. This one isn't that old. Like it's clearly, if you look at it, it's not. It can't be older than like the 60s or 70s, but it's very, very well conditioned for even being that old. But some guy found it in a wall and is like, "Hey, we're knocking this place down. Do you want this?" And gave it to my mom. It is the sweetest little thing. Like it's black cloth, and then it's got like a black gingham dress on and a black head scarf thing. And then it's got like a little black baby doll, like baby compared to the other size of the doll. And like you hold this thing and you look at it and you're just like, oh my God, aw. Like it just feels so open and precious and loving to hold it.
Yeah.
It's a very sweet little thing.
Did she keep it?
Yeah. Yeah. The guy gave it to her because he was like, we're knocking this house down. So you're the type of person who would want this. Do you want this? And my mom was like, fuck yeah. I don't know her name, the doll's name. Yeah, she has her. She uses her for doing spiritual cleansing and lumpias and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Limpias, not limpias.
Yeah, I was like, wait, egg rolls?
Limpia. Lympia. I said lumpia,
Okay.
but lumpias are just delicious.
Yeah, I was confused there for a second. I was like, does that have another meaning?
Nah, limpia.
Yeah, okay. Oh, like the Spanish word for cleaning.
Yeah, it's a spiritual cleaning.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I use dolls for cleaning or spiritual cleaning.
Well, if you can't get a hold of the person, like if they live elsewhere, it's a long distance thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you do like a representational one on the doll.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know if Filipinos or like in our culture if dolls have any significance.
Most cultures something with dolls happens. Not necessarily like baby dolls, but it's I mean, it's the easiest base for anything. Like, I made this thing that looks like me, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's the easiest thing to attach meaning to.
Do you have a favorite like superstition? I know like it's hard for you to differentiate.
Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult. Like, I don't know if you would call saging your house one because like it actually makes a difference. Like, to me, at least.
That's more of a practice.
Yeah, exactly. And then like another one is that I can think of, which would also be a practice, is like asking Saint Anthony for help. Like you say, Saint Anthony, please look around. Something that's lost that now must have to be found. Whenever you're looking for something.
Yeah.
And like if you just can't fucking find it, then you do that. But everything that I would do, I would label as a practice. Maybe I have one that I break all the time, and that's probably why I can't sleep. There's a mirror in my headboard.
Oh.
But I've always been a bad sleeper even before that.
Yeah.
I don't put my feet by the door just because it's feng shui, and you don't, for the same reason you don't like face away from the door. Like you don't have your head on the same wall as the door unless you're tucked away in a corner. Like say you were sleeping on a couch and the couch was oriented in such a way that your head would be towards the door. You don't do that because if somebody breaks in, then you want to be facing them and ready to fight as soon as possible. You don't want to like whip around and stuff.
Right.
And then spiritually, you know, same difference. You want to be oriented in such a way that you're prepared.
Yeah.
Does feng shui count as a superstition? or is it a practice? Because I know that's part of feng shui.
I think that's more of a superstition because when I think of a practice, it's like an activity that you do for an end result, whereas like feng shui is like you do this so that this doesn't happen. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like with a specific goal or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think I do the see a penny thing. But also I don't know how much of that is just me being a little magpie. Like where if you see a penny on the ground, you're like, that's my penny now. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, penny. Oh, mantises and ladybugs. If I find those in my garden, I let them chill because they're good luck.
Yeah, that's a big thing for us.
Yeah.
I think that's a universal thing. Like I remember like in elementary school, some kid killed a praying mantis and everyone's like,
oh, rude.
Bad mojo.
Yeah.
Mojo.
Yeah. Bad juju.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Juju. Yeah.
Bad juju.
And like everyone like didn't want to like be around that kid.
Also, like, what an asshole, because praying mantises are so cool, man.
Yeah. It's like
and they're so like anthropomorphic, you know. Like they're so close to being people shaped that like why would you do that?
Yeah. It was very like dramatic. Like everyone just gasped. We're all like little kids too.
Yeah. It's also like it's a big bug. So like it's not like squishing an ant or a roly-poly or something. Like it's like bigger than most of your fingers.
Shoe.
Especially like, at that age, it's like the size of your hand.
Yeah.
That's like violence.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't the nicest kid, so not surprised, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
I got traumatized by a baby praying mantis. I must have had my window open or something because I came in and there was one baby mantis drying its wings on my computer monitor. And I was like, oh my God, a baby mantis. It's so little. This is so crazy. And I went to like get my mom and show her and stuff. And then it flew at my face.
Oh.
I screamed so bad. I had to be like 13 or 14. But it scared the shit out of me.
Jeez. They're cute when they're little.
They're so little. Because it's just weird for something to be like baby toads. Like something to be a complete animal that is that small. Like you eat things and then poop them out and like have a whole system in there and you're so little. I have one I can't do is crickets. Okay. Crickets being good luck. I'm just generally sickened and terrified by crickets because when I was also a teenager about the same time, like within a year or so of the praying mantis thing, I was talking to my mom and we were just in the living room in the kitchen and like something itched on my foot. And so I like tried to scratch my foot with my other foot. And then there was a thing on me and I like screamed and freaked out. And it was like a 2-inch cricket that was black and it had been crawling up my leg. And so I was traumatized for life. And so now like crickets, grasshoppers, anything, I just get that like caveman, like,
yeah.
And I know like objectively that it's fine, but holy God.
But they are kind of creepy looking.
Yeah.
And I don't like.
And they jump like the speed at which they jump is like violent.
Yeah.
And they go very, very high for being so little and they go directly at you.
Yeah. Like I don't like any bugs that crawl like really fast. Like they're natural.
Yeah. Like they're like
yeah, like they're coming
fast.
after you. No.
Yeah.
I'm not a bug person.
I don't mind most of them. Like every other bug that I think I harbor like a resentment for has like a reason, like caterpillars. Like I can't have caterpillars because then I don't get these plants, you know. But like I call them potato bugs, but they have a different name. It's like a Jerusalem cricket. Those things are gnarly. Those freak me out. Have you ever looked at one of those?
No, I don't think so.
Google Jerusalem cricket.
I don't know if I can.
It's like so basic cricket body, right? The butt is like really long and round, but they're really shiny because they're a cricket, and they're like orange, and then they have stripes of black on their butt, but also they're like 4 inches big.
Oh.
And they're like really interesting as a creature until you move a rock and they're in front of your face.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah, they're I straight up screamed the first time I saw one. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I knew that it was 4 inches long and it was brightly colored and striped. It scared the shit out of me and I killed it with a shovel.
Yeah, I was telling my friend I have this habit. So after I shower, I always shake my towel before I use it. And it was because in the Philippines, when I took a shower once and I grabbed my towel, a centipede or a millipede, whichever one, like came or was on my towel and it freaked me out. And so because it's like it's like a tropical area and it's very humid and they have huge bugs, and they come out of the drain sometimes, and you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Freaked me out, and like and it fell and then went into the drain, and so like it was like I have a hard time. Like I
It could
don't
come
step
back at
on
any
drains.
moment.
Yes, I don't step on drains. I shake my towel every time. Even though it has not happened at all in America, I still do it just to be extra certain.
No, I would do that every time.
Yeah. So I always shake my towel every time I get out of the shower. And I have not stopped doing that since then, and I think I was 7. I just can't. I have to make sure there's no bugs there.
Those things are also fucking massive.
Yeah, they're huge.
And you're like naked and like
yeah, I'm like vulnerable.
all exposed and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And also little.
Yeah, exactly. In a foreign country.
Yeah. Yeah. That's loud and has mysterious noises.
Yeah. It's so oh my god, the insects in tropical areas in general are just nasty and
massive.
And
like they're all specially designed for their area, which means that they look crazy anywhere else.
Yeah. Like everyone's just used to it, and I'm just like, no, this is not what we have in California.
Yeah.
This does not exist there.
Yeah.
If it does, it's not this massive.
Yeah. Yeah, our centipedes are an inch and a half long.
Yeah, they're tiny.
And like they're gross and scary, but they're an inch and a half long.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like 9 inches of gross bug thing that's gonna crunch when you step on it.
Exactly. Like I will never forget that. And like another thing, what was the other thing? Oh, cockroaches. I mean, everyone hates cockroaches.
Yeah.
But specifically, like I know the sound of a cockroach because it crawled on my face.
Oh no.
In the Philippines also, and they're also massive there.
Yeah.
And I remember that sound vividly. Like I could still, like sometimes I have nightmares about it.
Oh no.
And I woke up one night here in our current house because I think one of our neighbors like has a cockroach like problem or something. I don't know, but they're
really prevalent in Sacramento on either end of the summer because they come out looking for water, but our cockroaches are like little.
Yeah, they're tiny.
They're not like Becky's cockroaches or foreign cockroaches. They're just like little water critters that just like they might end up in your house, but they're not like going to eat your food.
Yeah.
Unless you leave your food out.
We just had like the one, but I just remember the sound. And so I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard that sound specifically. And I was like, oh no, I know exactly what that is. And I like turned my head and it was on the wall next to my face. And I just like jumped up, and then I was just like yelling at Brandon. It's like, you have to get this out. And he like didn't, he was like half asleep and he didn't even care.
Yeah.
He's like, it's fine. And I was like, no, now, or else I can't sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. We get I mostly see dead ones in the house, but like it's like once in a month I'll see one. But I also, because all of my plants are on the porch, and there's like a lot of hidey holes, and then the plant, the pots all drain. They like to hang out in the plants. And so there's a lot of them on my back porch, but I've only ever seen, like we've lived here for 2 years. I think I've seen 5 max inside the house, and only one of them was alive. And my cat made sure that it wasn't alive for very long. Yeah, they're not like threatening, but you're like, that's big and in my house.
Yeah. It's just that sound. Like, I don't know why. Like, I just remember
the little skitters.
Yeah, it's like a distinct sound. I don't.
Yeah.
Ugh, jeez. I'm gonna have a nightmare about it tonight.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It happens every once in a while.
Take a bath with lavender.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out before you can get in.
Because I could deal with rats, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I could deal with a possum or like just rodents, but insects is just like a whole other thing for me.
My brother's house had mice. That was a nightmare. I've never like thought of myself as like I would scream if I saw a mouse.
Uh-huh.
But we were we knew where the mouse was. It was in the garage. And there was a whole like infestation of like these big fucking rats in this house. But we had seen a mouse that had run over to my boxes in the garage. And we knew that it was in this one specific box. And so we wanted to get it out of the garage and like scare it. And so I'm there. My roommate's there. I lived with my brother. Sorry, I don't know if I made that clear. I lived there. My roommate's there, and she has like a 4-year-old. Maybe he was 5. I don't know, but he was little. And then I was like poking the box, and then it fell out of the box and ran towards me, and I screamed. I turned. And then for like weeks, he would be like, "Eek, a mouse," and like laugh at me because I had straight up screamed because a mouse fell at me. It was like a cartoon.
That happened. Well, I mean, it was another cockroach, but it was a different house, and it's like the first time I've like seen the cockroach in the house. And yeah, I did the same thing because we lived with like, there was like 5 people in the house total, including me in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And we just saw the one. And again, I heard that sound, and I just knew right away. I was like, you guys, it's a cockroach. It's a cockroach.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw it like go across the kitchen floor. And when it did, I screamed. And I'm not like a screamer. Like, I don't have like that high pitch, like, scared lady pitch screamed in movies. But that moment, I had that high pitched scream, and I jumped onto the chair, like the dining room chair and the table. And that's probably like the highest I've ever jumped and the loudest I've ever screamed ever.
Yeah, that would, you think you're strong, and then you're like, ah.
Yeah. And it's so tiny. Such a tiny little thing.
Yeah, but your brain is like, this doesn't go here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I had a friend who would hold her breath going through tunnels, over bridges, and past cemeteries.
Oh, past cemeteries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've done I hold my breath in a tunnel, and then you're supposed to touch the roof of your car and make a wish.
Oh, I didn't know the rest of it. I just knew that she would hold her breath, and it was a little bit obnoxious. Because she would be like, it's
yeah.
like, honey.
Do it quietly to yourself.
Just breathe on your own.
I didn't know the cemetery one. I've heard like the bridges and the other stuff.
Yeah. My mom says that her mom used to close her eyes when she would drive over bridges.
What? Like when
she was trying to close her eyes, and it's like, you're driving.
Yeah, that's scary.
That was in like the 60s though.
Okay. Oh, geez. That would freak me out.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Driving
Excuse
here.
me, ma'am. I am 5 and you are controlling a motor vehicle.
Exactly. Oh, that would be a bitch though, like in the Bay Area. There's that tunnel and then the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
Like
the Bay Bridge that is full of traffic and that you spend 25 minutes on.
Yeah, that would not work.
Yeah. You have to pay the attendant, and you're like, here's $20.
That's funny. Hopefully she doesn't go to the Bay Area often.
Yeah, well, they were in Kentucky.
Oh, okay, well then they're fine. Just tell them that don't go to San Francisco or go around.
No, she's gone.
Around the Bay.
But yeah. If you ever want to talk about, I'm sorry that I don't have a lot of superstitious stuff. Like I said, it's just not a thing that pings my radar as being a superstition. And like a superstition, like in my head, I'm like, do they mean like when? I know that you mean like passing under ladders and stuff like that. But like I said at the beginning, I sort of run out after like 5 or 6. Like there was one where you don't open umbrellas inside. And like it's bad luck, but that's because umbrellas used to be super dangerous. Like they used to be spring loaded, and if you open them inside, they might break a bunch of shit. And like a broken mirror, like there's glass everywhere. That's super dangerous.
Yeah.
And so I always know them in like a very practical sense.
Mm-hmm.
But like with black cats, like black cat crosses your path, it's bad luck. But usually black cats are more like they signify some kind of change. And then people are like, things are changing. And then they're mad that things are changing. Where it's not necessarily
really like change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the kitty might have to go that way. You know?
Yeah. Like more literal, like
the cat might have to get over there.
Yeah. I mean, they were born that way, so
yeah,
they didn't get to pick the
Sorry, they got too much melanin. It does make me sad that people hurt black kitties. Like right now, a lot of shelters won't even adopt black cats.
Really?
Yeah, because people do terrible things to black kitties. Oh. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's very sad. People are very, very cruel to black cats for no goddamn reason other than the fact that they're black cats. So also, if you know people with black cats, or if you get your hands on a black cat or anything like that, make sure that they don't let them out in the fall.
The fall?
Well, and around Halloween.
Like
mid-September into November. Yeah. You want to...
People try to like...
People will straight up kidnap your cat and do things to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a good time.
Jeez.
Yeah.
People are crazy.
People are horrific. I don't think anybody should let their cats out, period. But it's a thing that people think that they have to do.
Yeah.
And then other people take advantage of it.
I think most people I know, their cats are indoors. I don't know a whole lot of, like, the only people I know that have outdoor cats are people who like adopted a stray and they're like,
yeah. Well, like my neighbors, like I have cats that come through my backyard all the time. There's a big pile of cat shit in my front yard because it's like the neighborhood potty.
Jeez.
But they're an ecological nightmare. Like they murder so many endangered birds all the time.
Oh.
And like they're super bad for the landscape. So if anybody's listening, all cats should be indoor cats. And if you think that's unnatural, maybe don't get a cat. Maybe build them a catio, but don't let them just outside. It's not good. It's terrible for bird populations. It's terrible for the environment. Don't do it. Love your kitty from the inside. And if you can't scoop a poop box, don't get a cat.
Interesting. I didn't know that about cats.
Oh, that's a superstition. Don't let cats around pregnant women. Okay. Because well, like medically, it's because some cats have this thing called toxoplasmosis, which is a microbe that infects people and makes you obsessed with caring for cats and like dealing with cats, but it's really bad for fetal development. That's an actual thing that happens. There's a microbe that makes you obsessed with cats and caring for cats. And it tends to hang around in the cat poop if you let it sit around for a few days. So as long as you change your litter box, it's fine. But that is an actual real medical thing that happens. But also people think that if a cat sits on you and your belly, it'll take your soul into baby soul. And then because cats want to like establish dominance by sitting on you, but they'll sit on your chest and like look into your soul.
Okay.
And they like lay on you and like look at you. And some people, that's a superstition that they're taking your soul. So don't let them do that. But they're not. They're just snuggling. And you just pet them and you go to sleep. But yeah, medically, if you get pregnant, a lot of people will recommend that you not change the litter box. That you have somebody else do it.
Okay.
Because of toxoplasmosis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if my sister-in-law knows that because she has a cat. But I mean, she already had her 2 babies, so I guess she's
it's
fine.
not usually a problem. Like as long as you like change the litter box at a normal pace, like, or if you scoop it right away, it's fine.
Okay.
I have ADHD, so I'm really bad about cleaning the litter box. But I'm also not pregnant, so it's fine.
Yeah. You're all good.
And also, if your cats don't go outside, then they have a significantly less chance of picking up that microbe from somewhere. So unless they came to you with it, it doesn't like spontaneously happen. But
so indoors.
Indoor kitties. I know I'm going to harp on that a lot, but that's because superstitions have to do with cats. But anyway, it's now 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. No worries. I'm just glad we got to do this, and thanks for coming back.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you're still interested in doing this stuff.
Yeah, no, it's fine. As long as I don't have some kind of obligation, I'm fine. Just chilling. I think it's really fun. I want to start a podcast. I don't know if I will, but I want to. But
well, you're always welcome on this one if you decide not to do one.
Or we could do cross. You could be on mine, I could be on yours.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That'll be cool. So yeah, let me know if you ever do start one. I'm sure.
For sure.
Like, I do love listening to you talk your different facts and stuff. So I'm just like, man, how does she know so much about stuff?
ADHD.
In general. There you go.
Wikipedia with ADHD.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But cool. Well, it was nice talking to you. Thank you for having me on. I'm going to go before I talk to you for another hour.
Okay.
Okay. If you have questions or anything, let me know on the Instagrams.
Yeah, definitely.
But cool. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for getting back on.
Yeah. No worries. I'm not doing shit.
Okay.
Still at home. But also it's fun, so that's cool. But
yeah, I'm glad. And then, whatever subject, it doesn't even have to be related to like paganism and superstitions and witchcraft or whatever. If you want to do something else, we can also do that. Like I know we kind of always go back to this stuff, but
it's shit I know a lot about.
Yeah, true.
and it's stuff that other people don't necessarily know.
Yeah. I'm like super interested. Like I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about like fairies. I didn't know anything about the cold iron, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's really it's very Celtic and like I don't want to say European because it's really like the Nordic and Irish and UK stuff. And then European fairies are like a whole different deal.
Yeah. So we could do an episode on fairies. Just fairies.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do an episode on fairies. We could do an episode on because there's cryptids and then there's like folklore creatures that they're not distinct from fairies, but they fill a different niche. I don't know. We could do lots of episodes about lots of shit.
Yeah.
We could do episodes about ghosts. But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm on Instagram. I turned on my notifications just so that I would get your messages because that's the only notifications I ever get. So
okay.
I will be told if I get a message on Instagram.
Oh, good.
All right. Sorry, I'll leave you alone now.
It's okay.
All right. Thanks for making it to the end. If you enjoy what you hear and want to stay up to date on the show, please follow me on Facebook and or on Instagram. You can also check out my website at thetalkativeintrovertpodcast.com. All the information will be on there as well as in the show notes. If you want to help support the show, please review and rate the podcast and share it with your friends and family. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode.